It's a great morning, great day. I shouldn't have said morning because I'm not mourning anything, but it's a great experience to be in nature early in the morning, and it's so quiet. Take a nice deep breath right where you are and know that you are perfect. Now, that doesn't mean your thinking is perfect. It doesn't mean your actions are perfect, because those are all has to do with that person's, what would you say, belief system about what's perfect and what isn't perfect. But the sense of perfection being that who you are as a divine, you can't even use the word divine being, because these labels have so many definitions, and like the word sacred also means secret. And it also used to be taboo. That meant that those people who were controlling everybody, they had all their places where you couldn't go, because those were called sacred, because only the big deal got to go there. And then it was also secret. So then we look at the word then divine gets caught up in that. The word God and all of that has so much stuff, and that's part of, in a sense, the plan of is to have so much confusion that you really don't know what's going on. And we've got to start from somewhere. And so where do we start? We've got to start from ourselves, because that's all we know. That's all that we are. And that self is perfect, meaning, in a sense, there's nothing missing. There's nothing you need to get. There's nothing you need to become, because if you're becoming, you're not being. It's always one of these days it's going to happen somehow, and when I'm better. And I find it so, it's the most common thing written on any kind of a questionnaire that I have when I work with students and people that, want to really investigate and be who they are in the fullness, is I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not okay. There's something wrong with me. Well, that's not true. That's an absolute lie. Just like they say the only thing you can count on are death and taxes. Really? Those are not natural. That's not the way it is. You are an eternal being. Now, we find ourselves here. You find yourself in whatever situation you're in right now. And you have to look at where do all those thoughts come from, that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving. I have this one second cousin. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, talented in every way, and she just says such horrible things about herself. And believing and saying these things, and then she's been addicted, I guess, to really these drugs of things that really are really so bad for people, and then had all the troubles with her child, and all these dramas, all this stuff coming from I'm not good enough, and there's something wrong with me. And then we're seeking love, and that's another thing. We don't have it, so then we got to go get it. And that person likes me a little bit. Maybe he's got it, I'll get it from him. Or maybe she's got it, and I'll get it from her. Or maybe, when I have this, then I'll feel really good about myself. And when I get rid of that, then I'll feel better. And then you got everybody else saying, what's the matter with you? Is something wrong with you? And always because maybe you don't think like they are, or you're doing what they're doing, or you don't believe what they're doing, or you're voting on who they want you to vote on. What is that? So petty, so mundane, so away from who we really, really are, and being who we really are. So the first thing then is to really recognize that you are perfect. So's everyone. And when you hear and they say, everybody's at different levels of evolving and all of this, that can't be true. Because when you look at we are all the same, and yet we're different. And the sameness I call the self, which would be, some people call the greater self, the true self. But it's where, just like an ocean, and we are drops of water within that ocean, so we are the same and equal in qualities, but we're unequal in quantity. So that means and you've got this religion being put on people that you're all equal. That means absolutely the same with no differences. That's not true. And one of the things is, oh, we're all equal. No, yes, and different. And unless you add that, what do you have? You have a one thought, a one concept, a one focus. When that is limiting you in every single aspect of your being by this oneness. We're all oneness. No, we're already unified. We're already have the same self, which you could call God, the force, the source, whatever name, but that's where we're already connected with all entities, all living entities in all, you would say, universes, in a sense. And there's supposedly millions of universes or billions of universes. But then we get, okay, what about me then? Where am I in this vastness of everything? You're also in the closeness of everything. And that is when you connect with the self. And then yourself, this small self and the big self, you are part of, you are drawing from, empowered from, and that is with you always, not somewhere out there, not somebody who's going to save you out there. And yet people help each other. That's there, and so when we look at who we are we worthy enough? When people tell you that they're better than you are, because I'm a Monty Python fan, and if you don't know what that is, look it up, Monty Python. And there's one where they're in the crowd, and this guy says, well, which one is the king? Where's the king? And then one guy says, oh, he's the one in the clean clothes. And then Monty Python's good. Anyway, that's kind of it. So I'm dressed up, so it means I'm better. And so then here we are, the little people, supposedly. We're watching all the big people and all the cars and all the stuff and everything. And we go, oh, they're better than I am. Really? They're probably worse off in every single way. Because it's the glitz and the glamour. And it's the light that attracts, the false light. You have your own. And although there were unlimited numbers of us, if we were numbering, it's always unlimited, each one of us is so gifted because we all have the same amount or whatever of the self, the divine, the words leave me, but this is where we're unified. And yet we're each an individual, each unique, each not just part of a collective. Never go along with the collective except at the level of wishing all well and working and endeavoring always for the welfare, the goodness of all beings. So yes, you're already whole, complete, and perfect in every single way at the level of your true self. And when you realize that, you look at how much we have of the faults that we've put together and collected, called our maybe personality, or we think that's who we are, but it's really not. It's that part we put together, the phony. It's the phony baloney. It's the identifying with this group and that group and this religion and that religion and this color and that color and that nation and that nation and that planet and the UFOs and you got all this stuff going. Bring it all back down right now. Breathe. Say, the mind just goes and goes and goes. Bring it back. Yourself right here. And the more we are centered, we're balanced, And we're not trying to get anything. We're not trying to become more than we are, because you are the fullness and completeness of what is possible for each of us. And it's possible for each of us to recognize, realize, and activate our true divine nature. But first of all, you have to know and be who you are. And now you watch, you witness, you can see what's going on, you notice those thoughts. Don't believe the thoughts. Where'd they come from? How'd they get there? Fear-based thoughts. See? The fear. I know, they're mosquitoes. What are you going to do? We just are food, actually, for them, the body. So yeah, you're perfect. Everybody is. There's nothing wrong with anyone at all. And yet we have all these layers of ignorance, in a sense. Or maybe the body type we got into maybe has some challenges. But you know what? You're perfect. And not better than others, not worse. Not at all. And yet, whatever you're doing, like you might be able to be more expert on the piano, but maybe you're playing the piano the way you want to. You're not trying to become an expert. You're just enjoying it. See? So yeah, you are perfect. Breathe it in. Let go of all that stuff, those thoughts. That mind wants to destroy you, that's generating those thoughts, to take you down, to make you pathetic and sad and miserable, and revengeful and envious and jealous, hateful, lustful, angry, bigger than hell, I'm the best. This isn't us. This is the way to use time. This is the time. It's only now. If you don't do it now, it will never happen. Because it's only now. Any time's a concept. It's all going on now. And it's you. You are the now. You are eternity. And the full power that's available to anyone is with you. Always. Don't give your power away to others. Make them worthy. See the foolishness of the whole charade. Laugh at it. Yeah. Just laugh at it. But you know, it's really important to be by yourself, to know yourself apart from the mind. You're perfect and beautiful. Be you to the full. Beautiful.